Tonight on News Prime, Minister directs board to fix military recruitment portal glitches. In business, presidency defends 15% fuel import tariff. On the foreign scene, Canadian Prime Minister says old world is gone at summit. And tonight in sports, the Tigers boss Serena Makama joins Hive BC as head coach. Hello and a very warm welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime here on Global Television, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I'm Uyi Agumofwebe, reminding our viewers that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Let's begin tonight by telling you Minister of Interior Dr. Olubomi Tunji-Ojo has directed the Civil Defense, Correctional, Fire Service and Immigration Board to immediately conclude the ongoing upload of applicant information in the recruitment exercise for the nation's paramilitary agencies. The directive follows mounting complaints from applicants who say they have been unable to track the progress of their submissions or determine their status weeks after completing various stages of the recruitment process. In a post on his official Facebook page, the minister acknowledged the challenges attributed to the ongoing data upload. A federal high court in Abuja has restrained the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) from recognizing the outcome of the forthcoming 2025 National Convention of the People's Democratic Party (PDP). Justice James Omotosho issued the order while delivering judgments in a suit challenging the legality of the convention. The judge predicated the decision on the grounds that the PDP failed to comply with relevant conditions and laws for the conduct of such conventions. Environmental management and planning can help create more livable cities and a friendlier environment. Recently, experts in environmental planning met in Abuja to discuss ways to improve city planning and innovation. Ubong Usoro reports for Global Television.
Environmental planning is truly the heartbeat of every sustainable society. Those shaping our cities spoke about the challenges and dreams that drive their work. Behind every street, park, and building, there are men and women thinking about how people live, how children play, and how communities thrive. The president of Town Planning Consultants of Nigeria, Hakeem Badojo, said planning cities is personal. In his remark, Emmanuel Abauto, chairman of the Abuja branch, said every city has problems, but professionals should listen to people and find solutions that make life better for everyone. Hakeem Badojo also advised professionals to demonstrate ethical practices and professionalism in building sustainable cities.
The Association of Town Planning Consultants of Nigeria, ATOCON, is a professional body dedicated to advancing the cause of urban and regional planning in Nigeria. And whereas the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja,
as a body, the guiding and operational mantra of Abuja ATOCON will be anchored on the foreign forces.
Nathaniel Atebije, a seasoned town planner, speaking during the meeting, urged professionals to put people first and to embrace practices that protect the environment and fight climate change.
For us, flawless professionalism is necessary. It denotes moral wholesomeness and aspiration towards integrity and character.
Behind every environmental plan are men and women who care, who struggle, and who dream of cities where life is safer, cleaner, and better for everyone. Ubong Usoro, reporting for Global TV News.
Many thanks to you, Usoro. Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma has reiterated that his administration will continue to partner with the Board of Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TED Fund, in strengthening and promoting growth of learning among tertiary institutions in the state. The governor gave the assurance during the Southeast Stakeholders Town Hall meeting organized by TED Fund at Emmanuel Iwanyao International Conference Center, Owerri, the state capital, to mark its 2025 Board of Trustees town meeting for the region. The event, which brought together notable scholars and policymakers, is aimed at reshaping and addressing the future of higher education in Nigeria, particularly in the southeast region. Federal Ministry of Education has flagged off the IDS TVET Youth Empowerment Training Program aimed at equipping Nigerian youths with technical and vocational skills for employment and self-reliance. The event held at the University of Port Harcourt saw the participation of key stakeholders from education and private sectors. Ubong Usoro has more.
It was a moment of hope and excitement at the University of Port Harcourt as the Federal Ministry of Education, in collaboration with the Nigerian Youth Employment and Skills Acquisition Fund, officially launched the IDS TVET Youth Empowerment Training Program. Leading the initiative, Prince Morgan Bob Manuel, project consultant, described the program as a pathway to building young entrepreneurs and innovators.
Are going to ensure that we succeed. How are we going to do it? Basically, by giving you the required skills in the area of fishing and farming, where we can eliminate hunger.
The Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Ogunari George Will, commended the federal government and partners for selecting Uniport as the South-South Training Hub.
This program offers training in various areas, and for me, it is a very, very unique program that the federal government has initiated, working together with the World Bank and other stakeholders to ensuring that there is youth empowerment.
The South-South Regional Coordinator, Mr. Domsek Elda, said the training covers high-demand sectors like ICT, renewable energy, agriculture, fashion design, and small business management. The empowerment initiative is expected to train thousands of youth nationwide, turning many from job seekers into job curators. Ubong Usoro for Global Television.
Management of Kogi State Polytechnic in Lokoja says it has uncovered a group of people forging its certificates and result slips bearing different names and programs being run by the institution. Rector of the institution, Professor Salisu Ogbo Usman, disclosed this during a press conference in Lokoja, the state capital. He said the syndicates involved in the document falsification includes some students, non-students, and few dishonest staff members of the institution. Kebbi State government has dismissed a viral report alleging the existence of a secret airstrip in Argungu, purportedly used for smuggling cocaine into the country. At a joint press briefing held with the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency at the Cabinet Office in Breni, Kebbi, State Commissioner for Information and Culture, Yakubu Ahmed, described the report as false, baseless, and malicious. He said the story was fabricated using the artificial intelligence technology to mislead the public and tarnish the reputation of the people of Kebbi State. Senate has confirmed the nomination of Bernard Doro as minister after his screening in plenary in Abuja. President Bola Tinubu had last week sent his name to the Senate in accordance with the provision of Section 14, Subsection 2 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. A National Assembly correspondent, Tapsi Gimba, has details.
During the screening, Duro, who hails from Plateau State, used the opportunity to outline his vision for fostering an inclusive humanitarian ecosystem in the country. He promised to create a humanitarian ecosystem that is inclusive, guided by impartiality and independence.
I intend to, contribute my quota to the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President by transferring the different experiences that I have in different sectors to help even in policy crafting and implementation so that the lives of Nigerians can be bettered.
After a few questions, senators expressed satisfaction with his credentials and capacity to serve. With his confirmation, Duro will now have the vacant position of Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, previously occupied by the current chairman of the All Progressives Congress APC, Nentawe Yelweda. Shortly after his confirmation, the Senate President, Gospel Fabio, called for the adjournment of the plenary to enable lawmakers to attend the inauguration of the service chiefs at the State House in Abuja.
The Senate, in the Committee of the Whole, considered the request of Mr. President, Commander-in-Chief, for the confirmation of Dr. Bernard Mohamed Duru for appointment as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The nominee answered questions from the distinguished senators on a number of topical issues, and thereafter the committee approved the nomination of Dr. Bernard Mohamed Duru as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The plenary was adjourned to Tuesday next week. Topsy Gimba, reporting for Global Television News.
Thank you so very much, Gimba. You're watching live broadcasts of News Prime here on Global Television. When the rest of the news returns, we'll have more stories for you. Plus, economic experts now projects a drop in electricity tariff following the availability of more participants in the national grid, as well as foreign export stories for you. Do stay with us. The second part of tonight's news broadcast now returns with business. As the world continues to shift toward cleaner and more sustainable energy, Nigerian women are taking the lead in promoting renewable energy solutions. From small communities to major cities, women are rising to the challenge of building a greener and more energy secure future. In this report, Umba Usaro brings us details.
With growing concerns about climate change, unreliable power supply, and the high cost of fossil fuel, Nigerian women are taking action to drive the country's renewable energy agenda forward. At a recent gathering in Abuja, organized by the Global Initiative for Food Security and Ecosystem Preservation, women from across Nigeria came together to discuss practical ways to promote clean energy from solar power and biogas to improve cook stoves that reduce indoor air pollution. Many of them believe that women, especially those in rural communities, hold the key to advancing renewable energy adoption because they are directly affected by energy poverty.
Energy access is not charity. It is a human right because they need clean energy for cooking, clean energy for their daughters and sons to read at night.
The project also has a social media campaign part of it, which has been ongoing. So this is a pilot project, and we cannot cover the whole of Nigeria, unfortunately. But we are women. We are advocating as women in Nigeria. We are first advocating as women in Nigeria before our community. So we are advocating for the whole Nigeria, not just Abuja or just Urupa or Ogoni. The women actually, with the help of GISA, we are taking the bull by the horn, and in issues of policy, Nigeria obviously does not. There are several policies, and there is going to be more.
Environmental advocate and renewable energy promoter said empowering women with renewable energy tools can transform homes, schools, and small businesses. From energy innovators to community leaders, Nigerian women are proving that they are not just beneficiaries, but drivers of change in the renewable energy transition, lighting the path towards a cleaner and more sustainable future. Ubon Usoro for Global Television.
The presidency says President Bola Tinubu has approved a 15% import tariff on petrol and diesel, describing the decision as a bold and strategic step to promote local refining, reduce dependence on imports, and strengthen Nigeria's energy independence. The confirmation was made in a statement shared on X by the special advisor to the president on media and public communications, Sunday Dare. He said the policy is a bridge, not a burden. aimed at transforming Nigeria's petroleum sector and ensuring long-term economic stability. Now let's take you to the foreign scene, where Canada's Prime Minister Mark Carney says the world is undergoing one of the most profound shifts since the fall of the Berlin Wall. China's President Xi Jinping had invited Prime Minister Carney to China in the first formal talks between the nation's leaders since 2017, before also holding first discussions with Japan's new premier. Canada's relations with China are among the worst of any Western nation. However, both are at the sharp end of Donald Trump's tariff onslaught, even after Xi and the U.S. leaders' deal to de-escalate tensions. Speaking at the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation CEO Summit in South Korea, Prime Minister Carney made clear that the rules-based liberalized trade and investment system the world has known for a long time is gone.
Our world is undergoing one of the most profound shifts since the fall of the Berlin Wall. And that old world, the world in which APEC prospered, but also helped to foster, that old world of steady expansion of rules-based liberalized trade and investment, a world on which so much of our nation's prosperity, very much Canada's included, that world is gone.
He challenged the leaders at the summit to be more strategic and forward-thinking, citing geopolitical factors and the scale of modern-day technology as the fundamentals driving global change.
I think we have to be clear-eyed about that reality, because nostalgia is not a strategy, and clinging to the past also ignores the scale of what's happening in parallel to these geopolitical changes, which is the scale of technological changes that are underway in life sciences, in the energy transition, and of course, most fundamentally, in artificial intelligence.
Ties fell into a deep freeze in 2018 after the arrests of a senior Chinese telecom executive on a U.S. warrant in Vancouver, Canada, and China's retaliatory detention of 2 Canadians on espionage charges. U.S. President Donald Trump's surprise directive to begin nuclear weapons testing provoked global criticism as it raises the sector of renewed superpower tensions. The announcement on social media was issued just before Trump, who frequently boasts of being a peace president, was to meet with Chinese leader Xi Jinping at a summit in South Korea. Trump's announcement left much unanswered, chiefly whether he meant testing weapons systems or actually conducting test explosions, something the United States has not done since 1992. Let's get you some excitement now from the world of sports. The Nigeria Judo Federation has joined the global judo community in commemorating this year's World Judo Day with a fitness walk and advocacy campaign in Abuja. The event, which held at the old parade ground, highlighted the values of peace, unity, and discipline, key principles that define the sport. Anieti Patrick reports.
It was a colorful display of sportsmanship and community engagement as judokas marched through parts of Abuja to mark World Judo Day 2025. Each year, October 28th, is specifically set aside to celebrate the life and legacy of judo founder Professor Jigoro Kano. This year's theme, Peace, resonates deeply with Nigeria's social landscape. President of the Nigerian Judo Federation, Dr. Musa Oshodi, urged Nigerians to embrace peace and mutual understanding as the foundation for national development. Represented by the Secretary General of the Federation, Jude Atta, he encouraged judokas to uphold the core values of respect, discipline, and togetherness both on and off the mat. He added that judo is not only a sport, but a way of life, teaching humility, courage, and cooperation.
Because ever since he came in as the president of this country, he has not just revamped sports, he has tried to reposition sports. And we are ready to key in to support our own way to make sure judo in the next Olympics, we will be there fully. That is our aim and target.
The event also featured training drills and demonstrations symbolizing the role of judo in strengthening harmony within communities. Meanwhile, the president assured that the federation remains committed to advancing the sport across states and nurturing champions who represent Nigeria proudly on the global stage. Anieti Patrick, reporting for Global TV News.
The head coach of Nigeria's women's national basketball team, the Tigress, Rena Wakama, has been appointed head coach of Hive BC in the Unrivaled Basketball League 2025-2026 season. Unrivaled is an eight-team women's basketball league in the United States, co-founded by WNBA stars Sabrina Stout and Nafisa Collier in 2023 and made its debut in January 2025 with 6 teams. The league announced its head coaching lineup for the second season on its website this week, confirming Wakama's appointment alongside 7 others across the league's 8 clubs. Let's bring Global TV News Prime to a close tonight by taking a look at some of our big stories. Minister of Interior Dr. Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo has directed the Civil Defense, Correctional, Fire and Immigration Services Board to immediately conclude the ongoing upload of applicant information in the recruitment exercise for the nation's paramilitary agencies. In business, as the world continues to shift toward cleaner and more sustainable energy, Nigerian women are taking the lead in promoting renewable energy solutions. On the foreign scene, Canada's Prime Minister Mark Carney says the world is undergoing one of the most profound shifts since the fall of the Berlin Wall. And finally, tonight in sports, we told you the head coach of Nigeria's women's national basketball team, the Tigress, Rena Wakama, has been appointed head coach of Hive BC in the Unrivaled Basketball League 2025-2026 season. And that's all we have for you on News Prime here tonight on Global Television. A quick reminder that you can find us on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. As always, we encourage you to engage and interact with us across social media using @Global TV NG as well as other handles now showing on your screen. On behalf of my colleagues who have made tonight's news broadcast possible, I am Uyi Agmofwewe saying thank you for watching, and here is wishing you a very fun-filled weekend. Good night.